You want to change careers, but you don't want to leap without a net. Good! That sounds terrifying. Let me teach you how to change careers without doing anything risky. I'm Laura Sims. I help people choose and start the right meaningful career, even if they've been trying to figure it out for years. In this video, you'll learn the safest way to change careers, how long your career change might take, and here's some real examples from clients of mine who have used this approach. The truth is, you can't plan for anything hypothetical. So until you know what career you want to do, you really can't plan how you're going to get there. If you're stuck on figuring out what you want to do, I can help with that. Check out my free training to learn my unconventional but effective way to get meaning and money from the same career. I'm going to share a general plan for the easiest, safest way to change careers. This is not a step-by-step plan that is specific to your particular needs and career. Again, we can only do that once you know what it is you want to do, but it is an outline for a practical, successful career change. Because here's what it's not going to look like. You're not going to go to bed on Sunday night in whatever job you're in. You're in finance, admin, education, the arts, marketing, whatever. And then you wake up on Monday morning in your ideal career. You can make the leap, but you're not going to do it overnight. What are you doing from Sunday night to Monday morning, proverbially? How are you bridging the gap between where you are and where you want to be? The answer is with a crossfade. A crossfade is the transition period where your current and future careers overlap. So your current career fades out, your new career fades in. So why do you need a crossfade? Well, this is one place where most people go wrong when it comes to career change. They don't adequately plan for the transition from point A to point B. They make big changes too soon without much of a plan. And then when the big change doesn't work like they wanted it to, they're not making money as quickly as they wanted. It ends up feeling really risky. So we want to minimize risk. Look, I'm working with clients who have rent or mortgage, dependents. Sometimes they're the primary or sole breadwinner for their family. There's just not the latitude to cross our fingers and hope it works out. This really has to be a solid plan. We also want to keep you from rubber band quitting. That's when you quit prematurely and then have to snap back into your old role or something similar. And then you don't actually move towards meaningful, sustainable work. We don't want that because then not only are you right back where you started, but you're even more discouraged than before and less likely to even try again. With a crossfade, there is no big, scary gap between jobs. You don't quit your job as soon as you know what your new thing is going to be. For a while, you live in both. You use your crossfade to build a financial safety net, gain skills, build relationships, and really plan for the transition. So how long is this crossfade thing going to take? The answer is it depends. Some crossfades are short. It's just a matter of applying for a new job. And for some people, that goes astonishingly quickly. For some folks, it takes years if the work you want to do requires getting additional training or education. In particular, if you want to start your own business, it can take several years before you're able to consistently earn your survival number through your business alone. But I want you to keep in mind that your speed is not as important as your direction. Crossfade can definitely feel slower than the immediate gratification of quitting right away, but in the long term, it saves you time. It's better to get it right and go slow than to change quickly and then have to rebound into your old work. What is your crossfade gonna look like? There are multiple possible scenarios for how this transition could go for you. But the main things you're gonna do is identify the gaps between where you are and where you want to be, and then build bridges over those gaps. We are looking for the point of entry. How can you get started? And I want to give you a couple examples of what my clients have done so you can start to imagine how this might come together for you. First, I'll tell you about Nicole. Nicole went from being an employee to a business owner with some supporting jobs along the way. When she came to your career homecoming, she was working for a tech company, and through our work, she discovered that she wanted to do floral and event design. So for her crossfade, here are some of the things that she did. She started by taking some classes on flower arranging. She attended wedding conventions. She just started trying to learn the craft and get really familiar with the world that she wanted to live in. She started a blog. She started an Instagram account about floral design and event design. And eventually she got a job at a floral shop where she did some small, free floral and event design jobs for friends. Then eventually she quit the tech job. She put up her own website. She started accepting paying clients. There was a little bump in the road here and there. All right. Her employer at the floral shop discovered her Instagram account, did not like that she had her own side thing going on. Nicole wasn't really happy with that employer anyway, so she decided she was going to leave that job, and she found a job as a bridal consultant at Beholden, which is Anthropologie's bridal boutique. So she left the floral assistant job, came over to be a bridal consultant at Beholden. But this was still giving her access to the world of weddings and brides and events. And it just took her business to a whole new level and got things going even more, because now she's talking to and meeting the kind of clients she'd love to work with. And I think her first summer in business, she got 10 weddings on her own. Then she kept her job at Beholden while she continued to book more weddings. She was definitely working in her homecoming career, doing wonderful work, making money, and just had this really vibrant, exciting career. That's what the crossfade looked like for Nicole, from going to employee to business owner and having some supporting jobs along the way, really finding her point of entry into that world until it became her world. Okay, next I want to tell you about Brit. Brit did kind of the opposite. She went from being an entrepreneur and having her own business to being an employee. When she came to Your Career Homecoming, she had her own social media business. She was all about telling stories. She really wanted to go into documentary style journalism. While she was doing her field work in the program, she learned about the gaps between where she was and where she wanted to be, understood the kind of bridges that she would need to build to be able to do that kind of work. Okay, and here's a fun side note. During her field work, she also got a job offer from one of the people she was talking with, because they were so impressed with her. And they said, hey, if you go learn some technical stuff and you're still interested, come back. And I'd love to try to find a place for you here. Don't underestimate the power of informational interviews and even getting job offers before you're trained in the new thing. This is the power of having clarity and confidence around what you want to do and how you present yourself. Anyway, Brit had a great ear for stories. She was good at telling them, but she needed more technical expertise. So she studied at a summer institute to really beef up her technical and journalistic skills. And then she got hired at a public radio station as a digital reporter and producer. After a year or so there, she moved on to another station in a more elevated position. Eventually, she ended up at NPR, producing her own show, all because she found her point of entry and planned that transition. Finding that point of entry, figuring out what are the gaps between here and there, finding ways to build bridges over those gaps. Both Nicole and Brit did that, and that's what you'll do as well. Your path may look different. You may have some bumps in the road. I know mine has, but you find the gaps, you figure out how to build the bridge, you get that point of entry, and then you do your crossfade. If you're thinking, that sounds like a lot of work. Yes, I didn't say this would be effortless. Look, it does take effort to make this kind of transition, but you either put in the effort to change your life, or you put in the effort to endure a career and a life that you don't want. We don't ask if it's easy, we ask if it's worth it. And meaningful work is always worth it. So the crossfade, honestly, it can be a gangly kind of awkward stage in your career. You might feel like you're leading a double life because you've got 1 foot here and 1 foot here. That's okay. This is a temporary phase. It might be a little awkward until you're able to fully fade in to your homecoming career. But again, it is worth it. There is a path to get there. It may take a little longer, but it's safe and practical. If you want to figure out what career you want to crossfade into, start by taking my free class. I will see you in the free training. Guarantee you're going to learn something new about how to choose the meaningful career that's right for you.